graduate student workshop on women migrants lives in Japan. So we refer to uprooting from the respective countries they migrate to a new social space, reconstructing their identities by redefining them and integrating to their new environment and resettling again. These three social phenomena, which are also the key themes of this workshop, would reflect on the lives of
Thank you for coming today. My name is Dr. Lin. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Tokyo. And my research topic is the Korean female migrants in urban Japan, and I normally focus on their work and the family and the community. And then today, I'm going to focus on the online community involvement for the Korean female migrant. This research look at the newcomer Korean migrant by answering the following questions. So, can online communities truly replace the lack of the community for Korean female migrants in Japan?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mikha. My name is Jie Zhang from Waseda University, and today I'm going to talk about the social standing and subjective well-being of Chinese female immigrants in Japan. I have this idea of this topic is, well, mainly because last year, 2014, last year, I got a chance and moved into Tokyo International Exchange Center, and there are so many international students and foreign nationals living there, and I got a chance to join into Chinese Mothers Communication Group, and they are all new mothers that their children are aged from like couple months to 5 years old, and these mothers are aged from 24 to 32. When I joined into this group, I realized that most of these mothers are already well educated in China, but after they came to Japan, they just stay at home and support their husbands, and they don't have job, they don't have salary, and they just raising the children every day, and they are confronting like social marginalization in Japan. And I was wondering what are the reasons and what are they perceive their lives in Japan. So I feel interesting to know about the social standing and mental well-being in Japan, and I think their situation might reflect the context of female immigration in Japan, and also to help us to think about the multiculturalism in Japan.
Good afternoon, I'm Jocelyn Solero from the Graduate School of Asian Pacific Studies at Waseda University. My presentation is all about the social integration experiences of Filipino migrants in Japan. Since the 1970s, thousands and thousands of Filipinos flocked to Japan in response to huge sexualized and reproductive labor. They flocked to the rural villages to become spouses to Japanese farmers. They also engaged in entertainment work, or sometimes called sex industries, in many parts of Japan. And as a result of marriage, formation of families, and gradual visibility to local communities, Filipino migrants became the third largest migrant population in Japan, with about 270,585 as of 2014. 40 years after, you see these two significant demographic shifts. One is the dramatic decline of entry of entertainers to Japan, from 50,691 down to all-time low 344 entertainers in 2012. And the second one, the number of permanent residents, which started to balloon as small as 26,000 in 2001, but it quintupled in 2001 to as high as 150,857. Now, what do these demographic trends say about the social integration of Filipinos? Have they truly integrated into Japanese society? If so, in what way and to what degree? So that's the starting point of my presentation.
Hello everyone. So today I would be talking about striking about the Indian migrant women creating new spaces in Tokyo as they strike a balance in negotiating their identities. So this picture is on one of the all-women kids picnic they conducted on a day off without their husbands because they were working at that time. So the focus of this presentation is expectations, fears, problems, and family life of married Indian women before and after moving to Japan. The ways in which they create and maintain family relations at a distance in sense of time and space. Their efforts that involve redefining, negotiating with their identities, and their desire of leaving or living in Japan, and reasons behind that.
Of 4 papers also is very interesting. So I'm really pleased to see that you're engaged in your research and trying to find new answers and new directions in it. I'd also like to say that it's, it's different from the situation maybe 20 years ago or something like that, right? So I would say that then, for instance, we were looking at problems of particular, like if it's female migration, we were looking at entertainers and their problems in Japanese society and how to deal with that, or problems of problematic marriages, how to deal with that, or with Koreans, it was the old comers and the newcomers, and they seem to have very different integration into society. Now we're getting a lot more research on newcomers, and yours is basically on the newcomers, right? So you could, to me, it's great to see this kind of process over time.
So I cannot understand, is this really gender factors is concerned or not? Because if the man experience same solitude or same experience, maybe it's not gender factors. So, but maybe for the presentation, examine Japanese husband and foreign women. Maybe you cannot examine it, but for the research, or for example, medicine, you are studying about Indian couples. So maybe impact their experience is maybe one part is influenced by Japanese society, and other part will be gender structure brought from Indian society. So I think for all of them, I want to ask is the gender relation of the country of origin was changed after the migration. Because I think in international, in English literature on female migrants, this is a very important point, the change of the gender.
10 years ago. Yeah, for presentations, so really reminds me the days of the graduate school and Professor Roberts. Actually, I'm a student of Professor Roberts before, and it's very honored to be here commentators, same as Professor Roberts. Okay, first I'd like to give you the overall comment for you. Okay, and I'm interested to find out the word sabishi, loneliness, isolation appears to your presentation. If they feel isolated, but why so they migrate to Japan and decide to having an international marriage or living with spouse from the same country? So isolation, loneliness should be the one of the keywords to explore, I feel. And it's interesting between the Philippines and Korea and China, situation is a little different. From the Philippines, because of the many entertainers come to Japan, your interviewees like 40s, 50s, they are still now entering to their elderly age. But so I'm surprised to the Korean case. Most of the interviewees are most of the same as me, like so early 30s. So that's so they still married to a guy should be late 20s. Most of them. Guy. The Korean female. So when is
would present his papers on the Nepalese villagers in the Japanese restaurant trade, and it would be followed by a documentary named Playing in Naan, which is the story of a Nepali man who migrated to work in a Nepali restaurant in northern Japan. And the film explores his daily life at work and his family at home, which reflects socio-cultural problems related to globalization. I will now give the mic to Dipesh and request him to present.
These days, it used symbolically, it used to be festival of lamentations in Nepal, but now it is transformed as a joyful festivals in Tokyo. So many of those women, if they call the man women, it's very interesting. Why man women?